For more than 2 years, a group of Nigerian military officers quietly nurtured a dangerous plan to overthrow Nigeria's elective government, assassinate its political leaders, and return the country to military rule. The plan failed, not because the plotters lost courage, but because their own ranks broke silence. This is how it happened. The coup plot did not begin in 2025. It began before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was sworn in. As Nigerians prepared for the transfer of power on May 29, 2023, a small but determined group of military officers was already planning to violently disrupt the inauguration. Their goal was to stop the handover, arrest political leaders, and announce a military government. The plan collapsed at the last minute. The reason was simple: money and logistics. The officers did not have enough funds, vehicles, or civilian cover to carry out such a large operation. The plan was suspended, not abandoned. What kept the conspiracy alive was anger inside the military. Investigators reveal that many of the officers involved were deeply disgruntled. They believed their careers had stalled unfairly. Some had failed promotion exams repeatedly. Others felt marginalized in postings or sidelined by senior command. According to military sources, these grievances created a toxic mix of resentment and ambition. The officers convinced themselves that the system was broken and that only a corrective military takeover could fix it. This anger simmered quietly until 2025. The man at the center was none other than Colonel Alhassan Ma'aji, as the operational brain behind the plot. An infantry officer from Niger State and a member of the 47 regular course of the Nigerian Defense Academy. Mahaji had served in major operations across the country. He was once the commanding officer of the 19th Battalion in Okitukwa, Ondo State. Investigators say he coordinated meetings, recruitment, and planning, keeping the group small to avoid detection. The money arrives in 2025. The plot was revived. According to intelligence sources, a former Bayelsa State Governor, Timipre Silva, allegedly injected fresh life into the plan by providing nearly 1 billion naira in funding. The money was reportedly moved in multiple tranches through bureau de change operators to avoid detection. With money now available, the plotters moved fast. They purchased 32 vehicles, including Volkswagen Golf cars and SUVs, to move personnel and equipment quietly across states. The kill list included an assassination operation. Security investigations also revealed that the plotters planned to kill at the same time President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas. Their idea was brutal and simple: remove the entire political leadership in one blow. Senior military officers, including service chiefs, were to be detained, not killed, to prevent resistance. The plotters relied on insiders within the presidential villa and around top officials to track movement and identify the perfect day when all targets were inside the country. To prepare the public narrative, the plotters allegedly recruited Nollywood actor and filmmaker Stanley Amandi. His role, investigators say, was to act as a propaganda manager, shaping public messaging, producing content, and helping present a takeover as a patriotic intervention rather than a bloody coup. This civilian involvement was meant to soften public reactions after assassinations. The first leak was the plot collapsed because one of their own panicked. In late September 2025, a serving officer with direct knowledge of the plan feared he would be blamed if things went wrong. He secretly contacted the then Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, and revealed the plot. At the same time, unknown to the whistleblower, the State Security Service, DSS, was already tracking suspicious movement among some officers. The DSS Director General Oluwatosin Ajayi personally briefed General Oluyede. The intelligence match, the coup, was real. The silent takedown. The Army and the SSS launched a discreet nationwide operation. On 30th September 2025, while President Tinubu traveled to Imo State, unaware that he was a primary target, security forces moved in across the country. Key officers and civilian collaborators were arrested, and almost simultaneously, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Emmanuel, took custody of the suspect at an underground Defense Intelligence Agency facility. While President Tinubu was formally briefed after the arrest, sources say he was visibly shaken. He immediately cancelled the October 1 Independence Day military parade, fearing it could be exploited. He also approved a special investigative panel led by General Emmanuel. More arrests followed. One soldier escaped detention but was later rearrested by DSS operatives in Bauchi State. At first, the military denied that a coup plot existed. They called the arrest a routine disciplinary matter tied to promotion grievances and indiscipline. But the truth could not stay buried. On January 26, 2026, the Defense Headquarters publicly admitted that officers had plotted to overthrow President Tinubu's government. It announced that those involved would face trial before a military judicial panel. What happens now? At least 25 military officers were expected to face court-martial. Several civilians remain in custody while others, including a retired general, are still on the run. With one track to South America, investigations are ongoing. Nigeria did not survive this plot because democracy was strong, but because secret leaked before the guns were raised. This was not a rumor, it was not a drill, it was a coup, and it almost worked. Like, follow, and subscribe to the Lantern News for more news as we uncover more truths.